Welcome, family. We give everybody about 30 seconds to hop on. Welcome to today's F.I.C.O Friday. Today is December 14th, 2018. Man, this year is flying by. Man, I remember it was just 2018, January 1st, New Year's. So I want to welcome everybody. I'll give everybody about another 10, 15 seconds to hop on. I want to welcome the J. Morrison Academy fan page, Mr. Will Roundtree. Make sure you guys are liking both pages, grabbing content information. Again, for those who may not be aware of, Easy Funding, that company has been purchased by my partner, J. Morrison. Was able to actually sell that company, which is one of the reasons you want to get in business and just do business. You have the potential to actually have someone buy your company. So the J. Morrison Academy has purchased Easy Funding. So that's definitely, one of the things that is beneficial when you set up and build a successful business. But for those who do not know me, my name is Will Roundtree, your owner and CEO and president of We Management Services, your credit mastery instructor for the J. Morrison Academy, your president and co-founder of Now Credit to Cash, which was the original company's name. Author of the book Credit is King. For those who do not have this book, make sure you purchase your copy. It's a great stocking stuffer. Want to salute Todd Smith out of New York, who purchased 10 copies recently. Nicole the Realtor out of Atlanta, who bought 100 copies of the book Credit is King. 100 copies of the book. You talk about commitment. But then also, too, she bought them for her clients. She wanted to make sure she gave every single client a book. We are still looking for a school or organization. We are going through a vetting process where my company is going to donate 100 of these books. Credit is King. If you have not bought a copy or purchased your copy yet, you can go to Amazon or go to my website, WeManagementInc.com, and purchase a copy of the book. If you go to the website, you'll actually get a signed copy. If you go to Amazon, it'll come directly from Amazon itself. Shout out and salute my brother Corday out of Los Angeles. He bought 5 copies yesterday. So, he's actually going to a Christmas party. He's good friends with some people in the industry. And he said, you know what, I'm not buying any gifts this year for Christmas. Everybody who is on my Christmas list is getting a book of a copy of the book Credit is King. So definitely appreciate that, Corday. And so today, I have the pleasure and honor of bringing on one of my mentors. Not only is he a good friend of mine, he's also a mentor, my brother. We've done a lot of business together. Done a lot of real estate deals. And we're going to talk about why funding is instrumental in helping you scale your real estate business. Extremely well accomplished real estate investor in the Cleveland, Ohio market area. Has clients internationally. So very, very well recognized and successful entrepreneur and investor. So we're going to have him on the call today or on the live today. For those who are on the J. Morrison Academy page, make sure you're locked in. Matter of fact, let's try to bring the phones closer together so that way when he does hop on, they'll be able to hear on the J. Morrison Academy fan page. So we're at the end of the year. Hopefully everyone are working on their 2019 goals, getting those in place. One of the things that I learned about when it comes to not even just business. Let's just take business off the table and just look at life. I think in life, you should always set goals, but then at the same time, I believe you want to have your long-term and short-term goals. The reason your short-term goals are extremely important is because you want to have checkpoints, because not everybody's going to hit a home run. And sometimes when you're not hitting a home run, you get discouraged. Understanding that sometimes all you need to be able to do is get to first base. You may not even get to first base. Just hitting the ball sometimes is a goal. And I think a lot of times why some of us get stagnant in our process of what it is we're trying to accomplish and achieve is because when we don't see the home run happen, we feel like, oh man, it's failed, or our mission has failed, and we abort the mission and go and hop on to the latest and greatest and next thing really pretty much just repeating the cycle of failure. But, like I talked about in my TED talk, failure is really just a stepping stone to success. It's a process to success. And when we have a different mindset of failure, we don't view it as failure. We just view it as I call, learned tuition. Things that you have to go through to get you that much closer to whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. And so when you set little milestone checkpoints in place, it helps you to see things a little bit more clear, because now you're able to see, okay, I made it to first base. Only have 3 more places I got to make it to get home. And so it takes me back to a time when, I first got into entrepreneurship, and some may have heard me share this story. My wife and I were looking at some pictures a few weeks ago, and in the picture, it was a photo from 2009. And in that photo, in the background was a picture of a dream board that I had done 9-10 years ago. And so on that dream board, one of those goals that I put that I wanted to accomplish was to be able to cash a check for $15,000 out of my bank account without it overdrawing my bank at the time. And so I didn't know how I was going to do it, but what I did was I focused on the process, not the end result. And so within that process, what I did was I set milestone checkpoint goals that lead up to getting to that $15,000. So what I did was I wrote on a check $15,000 cash. Of course, I wrote void on it in case something was to ever happen with my wallet and someone would not be able to cash it. And I dated that check for 2 years out at the time. Now, mind you, this was, in 2009. Didn't know how I was going to get to that point. So what I would do is I would set goals of the activity that I needed to do to be able to accomplish the main goal, which was to be able to cash that check for $15,000. And so what it did was it made that goal more attainable, because I wasn't trying to go from 0 to 100 in 5 seconds. What I was doing was I went from 0 to 20, from 20 to 50, from 50 to 80, 80 to 100. So as I was able to hit those goals along the way, it kept me motivated. But again, because a lot of us give up on our journey, because if we don't go from 0 to 100, now we're babysitting the time. And when you start to babysit that time, when those things don't happen right away, it's easy to get deflated and it's easy to get discouraged. And those are the things that, that I can say that I've learned along my journey. I mean, I always tell people that information in the game I'm giving you guys is over 15 years of experience, 15 years of investing my time, my money, and all these different things that I've gotten from different mentors that I've gotten along the way, flying and investing into conferences across the country, and paying for one-on-one mentorship, joining different organizations, going to different meetups. So I really hope that someone doesn't think that they're supposed to achieve success tomorrow and you just start today. Understand it's a journey of events. It's a process of events. And that's the beautiful thing I love about business and just life and whatever goal you're trying to hit. Because like I tell everybody, enjoy the journey. Because when you enjoy the journey, enjoy the process, you have fun with it. And when you have fun with it, you're not babysitting the time. And when you're not babysitting the time, you hit your goal faster, because you're not worrying about whether it takes me 3 months, 3 years, or whatever. And I tell a lot of people, if you started today and it took you 5 years to make $10,000 a month, would it be worth it? And I'm always going to say, of course, because if you did nothing over the next 5 years, where's your life going to be? Is it going to be the same? Is it going to be worse? How can it get better if you're not doing the activity it takes just to be able to go from 0 to extra $3,000 a month, or whatever the case is? So, I'm just extremely excited. We are at the end of the year, so, let's definitely close out this year strong. We're in the very last seconds. We're at the 2-minute warning of this quarter. For all my sports fans, we're at the 2-minute warning. No matter what sport you're in, they have a 2-minute rundown, which is where, you kind of tighten up and really hone in and lock in on accomplishing the win. And hopefully whatever you set your win for for the end of the year, whether it was to make more money, whether it was to be in shape, whether it was to, strengthen your relationships, your friendships, whatever it is, just know that regardless to where you land on the spectrum of the level of success of what your goal was set out to do or to be, as long as you engaged in the activity, you didn't fail. It's really just about making sure you stayed engaged and you didn't give up. The most important thing, and I tell people, it's impossible to stop a man or woman that won't quit. So as long as you don't throw in the towel and literally just say, you know what, I quit, it's impossible to fail. Failure is just really all about your perception, because the thing about failure, it's not an event. For one, if you fail, you don't have to broadcast it. Nobody knows. There's no such thing as a failure, unless you just flat out just lay down and do nothing to try to accomplish whatever it is you set out to accomplish. So we're about, a quarter after. Did King Beyond hop in? Let's go ahead and bring my brother Beyond Win on. It didn't come up?
No, you sent it out.
All right, let me see. Let's get Beyond a second. All right. Apologize for the technical difficulty. What's going on, King?
What's up, King? I was wondering when I was going to be able to get in. It's almost halftime.
Hey, we only bring the best players in at the crucial time of the game, though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So first of all, I want to thank you for taking time out your extremely busy schedule to hop on this live with me. It definitely is extremely humbling to have my brother, my mentor, my partner on this live here with me. So for those who may not be familiar with you, if they don't, they probably been, somewhere in a shelter. But more importantly, if you can just explain to the people, introduce yourself, your background, where you are and what you do.
Beyond Win, born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm a real estate investor. I buy, flip, hold, and repeat properties, watches, that goes for everything. Born and raised here in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm kind of like everything. I think we all are. I don't think sometimes when we put titles on things, it limits us.
Absolutely.
There's no ceiling. It's no limit. We could be all things, whatever it is that we decide to be. It's our choice.
Definitely.
So that's kind of the short version of Beyond Win.
Definitely. So one of the things I always tell people, and I have this saying, it's okay to be a copycat as long as you copy the right cat. And one of the things I want to say is I stole so much from you, King. Nothing material, but I stole a lot of the game from real estate from you. Whether it was things that, we shared one-on-one and just watching you from afar. And then, of course, some of the one-on-one mentorship that you've given me over the years. But more importantly, I've always felt you had such an ingenious way of how you viewed the buy hold process. And so if you want to just let people know, what does that process look like when they say you buy, hold, flip and repeat?
It's buy, flip, hold, repeat.
Buy, hold, flip, and repeat. Yeah, explain that process, King.
Hold, repeat. So you buy a property, you flip properties to get your cash up. So flipping could be turnkey flips, retail flips, or wholesale. It's all flips. Like you flip. And then hold is the next process. You flip to put yourself in a position where you got the cash to be able to buy and hold to build your portfolio so you have the monthly cash flow. Because that's what we plan.
Definitely.
Buy, flip, hold, repeat.
Absolutely. And I always felt it was such an ingenious process. And then even from a standpoint, you do a lot of turnkey. And a lot of people who may not know what a turnkey property is, explain to them what's a turnkey property.
Basically, a turnkey property is a cash flowing property with a tenant in place, with property management in place. So it's a hands-off investment for individuals that may have other businesses or may even work a job and they want their cash to go to work for them in an asset that they can see, touch, and feel, and it won't disappear in the morning when you wake up.
Okay. So in layman's terms, because I know you sometimes you use big words, King, and some people may not be able to understand that. So essentially, I can buy a property and not have to do anything and start making money as soon as I purchase that property from you, correct?
Correct.
And that's one of the things that, I felt that you kind of changed the game, especially in my real estate investment career. So that's why I'm always so grateful, just for what you bring to the table. So now let's kind of start, from the beginning and talk about, from our initial meet and how we met and started to do business, all starting with credit. Why was the credit so important for someone who, of your level of success as a real estate investor, or someone who has so much knowledge and experience in this industry? Why was the credit so important for you?
Well, in the beginning, it wasn't important because I had met so many individuals that I had gave money to that told me that they could build personal credit, business credit, help you get an 80 PEDX score, had connections at Bank of America and all these different places, get you a $25,000 line of credit in 90 days. So I paid thousands of dollars to individuals that said that they could do things that they never did. Nobody ever brought anything to the table but a bunch of dreams. So when I met you and we had a conversation, your energy, I like your energy. I felt your energy. It was a great vibe. And so based upon our conversation, I felt like you could do what you said you was going to do.
Correct.
But still, after that first conversation, I still wasn't thinking about that because I was kind of using my money and had a couple private investors. So I wasn't really thinking about the credit aspect. But what happened was when I sent my coaching client, one of my coaching clients to you, D. Jones, I sent him to you. And then after our coaching relationship, he asked me if I would do a property with him. And so I asked him, I said, where did you get the funds from? He said, King Will, you put me together with in Vegas. He got me some funding. I was like, he got you some funding in 45 days? He said, yeah. So anyway, we partnered on a project, and the project went smooth. He basically ran the whole project with the information that I taught him. I had the property, I had the crew, he overseen the crew, did an amazing job. I had the property, so we split the money. So it still didn't dawn on me. I still wasn't thinking about it. I still had this pattern of using my money and a couple outlets that I had. So fast forward, you reach out to buy a property here. And so you bought a turnkey property, and 2 months later you came to see the property. After you went and viewed the property with the property manager, we had lunch at Chicken and Waffles downtown. Me, you, your partner Paul, and my son Brian. And so somewhere during lunch, we had the conversation came up, and you basically said, King, I bought that property with a credit card. And I was like, what? Repeat that again?
I remember the look on your face. That was funny. It was priceless.
The reason I had the look on my face is because I know what I'm doing. I knew what I was doing and capable of without credit. It's like without credit. So when you mention that, I'm like, with credit, so I can go 10 times what I'm doing, leveraging credit. And so at that point, I was all ears when you told me you bought the property with your credit card. It's like, okay, what I need to do.
Right.
And it's been on ever since.
Definitely.
It's like when I tell people, they ask me twice and it kind of irritate me but I understand where they're coming from, but it still irritates me, but I understand where they're coming from because there's so many people that they focus on selling dreams to people that don't understand. People that's in situations and they really looking for people coaching people in real estate before social media. I've been selling turnkey properties for over 10 years when I didn't know anybody else selling turnkey properties. So it's real. So if I speak to somebody and I refer you to somebody, it's real. I know it firsthand. So when I tell people, it's like they can't believe it. I'm like, listen, call Will. How much he charge? It don't matter. How much is it worth? Priceless. Change your life.
Right. No, definitely, and I definitely appreciate that. So now you said something that was interesting, and I know, you and I had a conversation when I was in Atlanta last week. We had an opportunity to meet up, and we were talking about how sometimes people don't believe you because maybe they're too comfortable. But then once things get a little tight, now they blowing up your phone, but now they want a miracle to happen overnight because they're in a different place and they're trying to do business from a place of desperation. Explain to me, because I know you coach a lot of people and people view you more than just as an investor, but I know me personally, sometimes I call you just for life scenario, mentoring. And so explain to me why it's important not to just want to reach out and want to do business when your situation get bad. Why is it important to say, look, even when things are good, this is why you want to make sure that your position stay that way?
Well, the first thing is this. They say you dig a well before you get thirsty. If you wait till you get thirsty, you may die. You don't have enough energy to dig a well because you're starving and you're about to die. So it just makes sense because when you think about if you really need help, you can't go to nobody and get help. You can't go to the bank, no lending institution if your credit is 400 when you really need help. So the best time to line up things so that way you always in position and you don't have emergencies is when you got a 700 credit score. You got a 700 credit score, that's the best time to get lines of credit, but just in case. The same reason you pay insurance for 20 years and you never filed a claim, just in case something happens.
Right.
So you have people, it's like I know people with 700 plus credit scores and scared to do anything. And they just got a 700 plus credit score, but I know this as well. Soon as something happens, they get broke. Now they want to do something, but you behind on all your credit cards for 6 months, your car just got repoed. Now you want to meet me anywhere in the world, sit down and talk to me when you're at your weakest point.
Right.
And it's like, I don't have any conversation for you at that point.
Right.
Like, it don't make sense. I was just telling somebody, I said, listen, Jay-Z worth 400 million plus. Why is he still investing in other businesses? I said, I don't know, you don't know, but we just need to follow what he do.
Fact.
I said, LeBron worth how many millions? Why is he still investing in other things? I said, well, I don't need to know, you don't need to know, but we need to follow what LeBron doing. Oprah, a billionaire. Why is she still investing in other stuff? Why is she investing? Why is Tyler Perry investing? I was like, you know that they invested, right? Yeah. Why they investing? We don't need to know the answer to that. We need to be invested.
Right. And I think a lot of it, like you said, it boils down to because we too comfortable. Life is good. We're able to pay our light bill but still go to the club. So even though it's not helping us build wealth, we're able to still look good to other individuals. And so, I definitely appreciate you sharing that insight. So let's fast forward to, we've had the convo about being able to buy our house with a credit card. You had your aha moment. So now, what was the process for you once you saw, okay, the credit and the funding, it makes sense. Our team was successfully able to help you. Where was kind of your mindset at that point once you actually saw it work for you personally?
The first thing came to my mind because I'm an individual that, I love people. And no matter what, I can't keep great things to myself that will help other people grow. So when I seen it work, I started telling everybody. Most people didn't do anything. And there's still people around me right now that haven't done anything. They just sit and watch me win. And
real.
It's just too sweet. And I always tell my son, I was like, listen, getting your credit in order, you go get a loan from a bank, even if they give you $1,000, that's sweet. The reason why that's sweet is right here. If they give you $1,000 and you paid $1,000 like you're supposed to, they give you two. If you do what you're supposed to do with the two, they give you 5. They give you 10. If you do what you're supposed to do, they give you 20, then 50, then 100, then 500, then 1,000,000. So why do people go mess up everything with a $5,000 credit card? That don't make sense. Now you ain't got no credit and no money. I see if something happened, okay, you mess your credit up. But if you mess your credit up, you should have some money and some assets.
Facts.
Like, listen, what they need to start doing, the clubs that they like to go to every weekend, they need to start asking for a financial statement. Look, man.
Hey, that's I remember when you told me that the other day, I fell out laughing because it's true, you know. And it's interesting because I see people who complain and say, "Oh, I don't want to use my credit to go buy a house," but they'll go mess it up buying cars, sneakers, and belts. And so we really just need to change our mindset about it and all of that. So I definitely appreciate your take on that. So one of the last things I want to ask you about is, how has credit funding been instrumental in helping you scale not only your business, but for your coaching clients? How has that process been to help them scale and get off the ground quicker?
It's like, it's one of the best things in the world to be able to leverage. You don't need to have any money and you got your credit in order, you got access to all the money. So that automatically puts you in the game in some form, in some position. What I mean by that, if you don't have any money, funds low, you got your credit in order. You got your credit in order, you can get access to capital where you could be a part of a deal. Even if the deal is not 100% yours, you can leverage your credit to be a part of a deal. And here's the other thing, if you don't have credit and you got some money, you could partner with somebody that have the credit. And you can leverage the money, their credit and your money to partner on a deal. If you don't have money and you don't have credit, but you seek out the information and you get up under somebody where you can get the knowledge, or you intern or whatever you got to do to get up under the individual that got the game, you can go to two people that got the credit and the money to form a partnership to get in the game.
Now you just hit people.
It makes the playing field level for everybody.
Now you said some game that I don't know if people actually caught, but I know that you've had many scenarios and situations on how you structured that. So I come to you, I have no money, but my partner has good credit. Walk me through that, what that process looked like. I can have a credit partner.
In my book, if you don't have it, you need to get it. Quotes and Confirmations by Dion Wynn. In my book, one of my favorite quotes is, or confirmations is, you don't need money or credit to use the brain that God gave you for free. You don't need money or credit to use the brain that God gave you for free. And so people pause for a minute, and then I say, did money or credit create your brain, or did your brain create money or credit? And so back to your question, all we need to be able to do is utilize our brain. If you utilize your brain, you can have anything that you want. But you have to stop letting the TV and the $1 trillion distraction industry blind you. You have everything you need. If you don't have a dime and you utilize this and good energy, you can attract everything that you want. People with money, guess what people with money want? They want to make more money. So if you're knowledgeable enough, you can sit down with the people with the money and they are investing money. And when you talk about real estate, it's like they can invest their money in something. The real estate is going to be $100,000. I'm gonna use real estate to secure your money. You're gonna be the first lien holder on the deed. I'm gonna add you on the insurance policy, where you're the I forgot what it's called. In case something happens, you're the first person to get paid on the insurance policy.
Beneficiary.
Yeah, you're the beneficiary on the insurance. I'm gonna give you 10% back on your money, or 15%, or 20%. It depends on your situation. The property is used as collateral. It's a win-win. People doing it all day, every day. Bernie Madoff, how much money did he give to people? And it wasn't even with real estate. It was stuff they couldn't even see. It was stuff they couldn't even touch. And they gave them hundreds of millions of dollars. It's way simpler to get somebody to invest in you if you're using property as the collateral. And they don't have to put the money in your hand. They can forward the money to the title company.
Now,
so they're in first position on the deed. And they lost paid, that's what it's called, lost paid on the insurance. So if the house disappeared, the tenant's taken somewhere, they get paid first.
Right. Now, this kind of lobbies into what my next question was going to be. Relationships. I know one of the things that I learned that's so invaluable and probably the most intangible piece of information that you shared with me over our friendship over the years is that relationship is more valuable than any asset you can have, and probably one of the most intricate components in when you're looking to build your business. You want to touch on why relationships are so important?
Well, I know relationships that's the foundation of life. What, as far as marketing strategies change every day. People spend millions of dollars on new marketing strategies, all these different ways to market. But guess what strategy don't change? Building relationships, that strategy don't change. That don't change every day. Being intentional about maintaining and building great relationships, that don't change. And if you're intentional about that, you stand out in a world of people that's just focused on getting paid. The people that's just focused on getting paid and putting a dollar before anything, that's all short term. So they come and go. They fads. They forgotten about. But the person with the relationship gonna get the call. I don't care how many postcards you send, how many banner signs you hang up. If I got a relationship with that individual, I'm getting the property. I just bought a property today for $3,000 with a tenant in it because of a relationship. $3,000 with a tenant in it. Hold on, let me show you.
And the reason I know hold on, before you show that, King, I know it's true because you send those properties to us, to me and my team, based off of our relationship. So it's a win-win, as you always so eloquently say. I can't. I'm on the other end of the camera.
It ain't big enough, but yeah, $3,000. But it's relationships, and I think that especially our people, most of our people are looking for one night stand, something fast, and then they over with. So I've seen so many people come and go since I've been in real estate because they just focus on the money. They do anything for money. They don't keep their word. Something go wrong with a property, they running away from it versus what they said they was gonna do before the money got on the table. So I'm focused on relationships, and so any city here, Cleveland Heights, Euclid, I have relationships at the building department. Every time when I close a deal or buy a property in one of those areas, I send the whole building department cards and brownies. The title companies, certain things I can get done at the title companies that people can't get done because I'm intentional about building a relationship with the title company.
Right.
With the title company.
So before we open it.
Somebody said put it up again. Look, all you have to do is go on the county auditor site. You go on the county auditor site, you can see it. My company is Recycle Money LLC. You could see it. So that's another thing. When people tell you, or trying to coach you or mentor you, and you want to check them out, just go on the auditor site. They say they, bought properties and sold properties. You can look them up. Next question, King.
No doubt. Hey, I'm having fun with this. So before we open it up for some Q&A, the $500 million question, King. Why is funding so important for real estate? You have somebody who is brand new. They're probably scared, never have gotten credit before, know nothing about real estate. Does this truly work? I get that question all the time. And what's so interesting, when people put that question in my comments, I'm like, we have the proof. My last 4 coaching clients, in less than 6 months of me coaching them, have bought their first property. I mean, last year I did $125 million in funding. So it's not a question of it if it works. It's the question of, do you work? And so before we open it up for Q&A, King, why is funding so important for real estate? Why, if someone who has nothing, why should this be a viable option for them?
Like I said, funding, having access to funding, it makes the playing field level for everybody. It's one of those situations where you get your credit in order, you got access to funding, you don't have to go in your pocket. So you could take a chance with the bank's money versus going in your account and taking a chance with your money. I want to play with the house money.
All day.
One of Jay-Z songs, he was like, now I'm playing with the house money. And then another thing is like, for people that don't believe, those not the people. Like, now I'm not in the convincing business. Like,
for real.
It's like, for me, it's like, even with social media, like, I don't really like social media that much, but I understand it's necessary for what I'm doing. And my whole thing is to get the information to our people so they can see that this is real. Like, you ain't got to fucking struggle. You ain't got to wait until the first of the year. Every year you're waiting on your tax return in order for you to come up, and you keep repeating the same thing. If you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for your kids. Like, so that's what I do it for. The struggle, like, this is real. Like, you can live whatever lifestyle you want to live and don't have to worry about the police. Don't have to worry about going to jail.
Or hopping on or buying a flight the day you want to fly out to another city like you did last week.
It's like you can do whatever you want to.
All right.
Like I've been on both sides of this, and this is much better. I remember I couldn't take a shower because I couldn't hear what was going on outside because I was involved in all the wrong stuff. I couldn't take a shower. 6 locks on the door. Like, that's no way to live.
Right.
And somebody else raising your kids. Like, that don't make sense. There's too many kings out there in position to where they can invest in real estate, and they don't have to worry about going to jail. They don't have to worry about getting robbed. Putting their kids in a position where they kids with them, and they get in some kind of shit, and your kids get killed. People get murdered. Like, it don't make sense. It don't take $1 million to leave the streets. It don't make sense to go floss at the club for the people that's gonna be gone as soon as something happens. Like, I had to get to that place. Like, where, okay, I don't care what nobody thinks. I don't want to be on the stage. I don't have to prove anything. The people that really love me, that's gonna be in my corner no matter what, they don't care if I ain't got a dime. My kids riding with me till the wheels fall off.
Facts.
These other people ain't rolling with. They only rolling with you because you winning. That's it. Let something happen. Let you get down there and you got to collect call. Nobody accepting that collect call.
See, now y'all see why. Now y'all see why I always call Beyond anytime I want to get something. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I love this King so much. So before we get out of here, King, let's you got a few minutes to hang around for some questions?
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, what we got, King Daniel?
How much funding can you obtain with a new LLC with a guarantor?
All right, King Beyond, someone asked how much funding could you potentially gain with the new LLC? I know you had some experience with some of your coaching clients.
Well, my one coaching client, I believe he got 25 and 45 days.
It's really that simple. The thing is about it, you don't have to. Your company don't have to be 5, 10 years old. Now, does having a seasoned company help? Yes, but you also don't want to go out there and invest a bunch of money for a shelf court because, like King said, he had clients that had brand new companies got 25. I had some with brand new companies got much as 85. So a lot of it depends on what your personal guarantor looks like, meaning your credit report.
Listen, let me say this before the next question. Listen, here's the other thing for everybody that's tuned in. When you really serious about taking your life to another level, it's a matter of you making a commitment and moving forward. Guess what's going to happen when you make a commitment and move forward? When you make a commitment and move forward, the ideas going to come. The people going to show up. Everything you need is going to be there when you move forward. You got to get in motion. Where you sit at is not going to happen where you sit at. I don't care how many books you read, how many YouTube videos you watch. You have to commit, get up, and move forward. Because for me personally, just like somebody said, this guy can fight real good, you can't beat him. Guess what? I don't believe it. Knock me out. That's how you got to look at life. So regardless of what we say, something you want, nobody should be able to stop you from getting it. Decide you're going to be unstoppable and do whatever it takes. And trust me, everything that you want thrives on the other side of fear. Don't be afraid. And don't think about it too long. Get in motion. That motion and action, it kills fear and doubt. And put yourself around people that multiply and add in your life, that give you that energy, make you feel like you could fly, make you feel like you could do it. Anybody you talk to around you that drain you,
get rid of them.
You see their number pop up, every time you get in a conversation, they putting out a fire, you need to alleviate those kind of people. Be around high energy people so you can fly.
Very quickly. Absolutely. Appreciate that, King.
What is the first thing I need to do to get started?
Get started. King Beyond just says we too often we think too hard about things. You know what I'm saying? So, like they said in the movie The Wizard of Oz, there's no better time than the present. So you just need to get started.
And this is for King Beyond Win. Can you be my mentor? I live in Ohio. How can I reach you?
January 15th, I'll be back mentoring and coaching. January 15th. January 15th.
Matter of fact, if you're not following Beyond, make sure you go follow him, Beyond Win, across the board, IG, Facebook, Beyond Win.
Somebody said, how do we feel about the recession scare in 2019? Listen. God didn't create us to be scared. And so if you believe and trust in God, those two can't exist.
At all.
So it don't matter what they say on the news. It don't matter who the president is. It don't matter what's in your bank account. It don't matter what you've been through. If you believe and trust in God and you use that as your foundation, nothing should be able to make you fall or scare you. Being scared is a negative energy. It's nothing to be afraid of. Most of the things that we worry about won't kill us anyway. And if they do kill us, we won't know it.
Or not even that. Most of them don't even happen. You know? We worry about, you know.
It's a waste of energy.
It really is.
That's right. It's a waste of energy being afraid. So if that's 2019, right? Even if that's the truth, get you some money right now. 2019 will take care of itself. Get your credit in order. Get you some money right now. Just in case. So whatever happens, you're going to be in position.
Facts.
Start right now. Commit today to get yourself in position. So if something do happen in 2019, you're going to be good.
Let's see. We have a question. Am I still able to obtain funding even though I already have my LLC?
Absolutely. If you got an LLC, reach out to us so we can get you going and get you this capital.
Somebody's asking, what areas in Cleveland are up and coming for new investors to get in low and see increase in equity within the next few years?
I invest in every part of Cleveland. Right now, Cleveland market is on fire in every aspect. So the market is hot for homeowners lined up around the corner buying properties. The market is hot for out-of-state and out-of-country investors that are buying properties. They're buying whole. They're buying turnkey properties.
Yeah, before we go to the next question, King, didn't we just close on a deal yesterday or today with one of my coaching clients out there in Cleveland?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. So my client didn't even see the property. So that's the other thing. Like, when you build a nice team around you, you don't have to know what the property look like. And that's why having mentors in place like myself, King Beyond, and the rest of our team can help you guide through that, because you buy based upon your return on investment. I tell people all the time, I don't care if it's a TP. If the numbers make sense, I'm going to buy it. And that's the thing I love about real estate in investing in businesses and different things like that.
I have an LLC I would like to get started. Where do I go to get started?
You can send us an instant message, webpage, use easyfunding.com to get you started with the funding process. If you want one-on-one coaching with myself and my team, you can reach out to us, jmorrisonacademy.com/Roundtree to get more information about our one-on-one real estate coaching.
Are there any specials on credit repair?
I don't think, no. All of the promos are done right now. Black Friday is over, but one thing I can tell you, knowing what I know now about credit, I don't care if it would have cost me $5,000 to fix my credit. It wouldn't have mattered to me, because I deem my credit as an extreme necessity to go out there and do whatever it is I need to do. So, but I can't tell you, reach out to us so my team can do an assessment, and then they'll be able to, get you going and get you all of the appropriate steps and let you know what the fees will be. So it's a special every day. Let me put it that way. We have a special every day.
Let me add to that. I think for the most part, we need to start, our people as a whole need to start looking at worth. Not how much it costs, worth. How much is it worth? How much is it worth for you to be able to walk in a dealership and know that you could point out whatever car you want, or they don't have the car that you want, you could customize it just the way that you want. How important is it for you to be able to have access to $100,000 that you can get, $100,000 line of credit that you can get with an 8%, paying 8%, and you could take the money and make 20 or 30%. How important is that to you? That's what we need to start looking at. Not how much it costs. I don't care about cost. I'm concerned, how much is it worth to me? What can I do with the information? When I signed up for Robert Kiyosaki's coaching program, it was $10,000. This was some years ago. And people was around me, they couldn't understand why I would pay $10,000 for somebody to coach or mentor me, because they look at me like I knew everything. No, as long as we wake up, we're going to be under construction and learning. I seen the value, and I knew how much it was worth from what I read in books and hearing Robert talk, and I knew that I could grab some of that knowledge and information, use it with what I had, and take me to another level. And it did exactly that. So I didn't care how much it cost, because guess what? I paid $10,000 for the program, and in 4 months I made $250,000.
I would like to say that was a great investment.
Yeah. So
Definitely.
just one thing, just one shift in thinking could change your life, your bank account. Just one shift.
Right.
The conversation with the right person. Just think about it. So it's not how much it costs. It's like, if you know that if you do research on King Will, if you do research and you know that it's all facts, what he brings to the table, being able to do everything he says he can do, and what you can do with the information that he's going to share with you, and what is not the residual effect that it's going to have on your family. Like, it's priceless. I don't think he charged enough. Next question.
Oh, the price going up next year, King. We already made that determination.
Why are people think that everybody else should get rich except us? Yeah, we love the people, but we can't help the people if we poor. Nobody would look at Jay-Z the way they look at him now if he was poor. You look at him different because of how he's grown over the years. You wouldn't pay for a ticket to go to their concert. You laughing talking about it.
Facts.
Y'all laughing at Ja Rule.
What we got next, King Dan?
Do you have any advice for those who live in states like California where the property is sky high?
I'll let King Beyond answer that.
I got a solution for that. You need to get with me and buy one of these turnkey properties in Cleveland, Ohio. Most of my clients are in California. Most of my clients are in California, and they're buying turnkey properties here in Cleveland, Ohio, because it's not much you can do with $50,000 in California.
At all.
Right? You can't do anything with $50,000 in California.
That's not even a down
We was
payment.
in California a couple of months ago. It's like we was in the hood, and the properties was $350,000, $400,000 for 1,200 square feet in Watts. So,
How does the turnkey operation work?
how does the turnkey operation work?
Yeah, basically.
Basically, we have properties that we rehab. We have property management companies, a couple property management companies that we work with that place tenants, and we sell them. And the property management company handles the transact. They're the liaison between the person that bought the property and the tenant that's in the property. And everything runs through a title company to make sure that there's no liens or taxes on the property. The title company is the liaison between us and the buyer to make the buyer feel comfortable and to give them a title insurance to make sure that they're good.
Right. And one thing I want to add in that, one of the things I really love about working with you, King, is that when we bought the first property from you, even though we've developed a good brotherhood, we didn't do homeboy business. You was like, here's my title company. Make sure they still do the title search, even though you're buying the property directly from me. And I appreciated that, not just because of the fact you kept it professional, but that had me feel confident that I know that anytime I send you a client, they in great hands. And I didn't have to worry about the homeboy business being done if I'm not involved. And so that's one of the things I really appreciate about you, because you don't see that a lot in our space.
Yeah, for me, it's not a fad. Like, this is what I do. Like, I've been at it for 15 plus years. So I've seen the cycle that we in now. I've seen that cycle. And most of the people that was here when I started, they're not here anymore because they didn't do business right. I didn't say Ja Rule wasn't good. I said people are talking about Ja Rule. But that's not about Ja Rule.
At all. That went over people's head. That went over people's head.
But people talk about Ja Rule.
Right. That went over people's head.
And I'm just fine as well.
Definitely. So we wrapping up. We coming to the end of the live, King. Definitely appreciate you hopping on. I know it's going on,
Anytime.
Later in the day out there. But before we leave, just let people know how they can find you. Let them know where to go and purchase your book. If those who do not have King Beyond's book, you definitely got to get it. There's 1,000 quotes that he shared with me over the years we've been talking that are in that book, and I steal all his quotes all the time. So just let people know quickly how they can reach out to you and copy your book.
You can grab the book, Quotes and Confirmation, on Amazon.com. You can follow me right here on IG at Beyond Win. The same thing on Facebook. I share information on there regularly. Things that I share things that I think to help people elevate their personal lives, their financial lives, and their business. If you're interested in turnkey properties in Cleveland, Ohio, send me a DM and we'll connect like that.
Definitely. So again, I appreciate you hopping on, King Beyond. I'm sure we'll be.
Appreciate you, my brother.
Oh man, always, and I'm sure we'll be talking again before the year is out. Everybody, make sure you go and follow my brother. I'm telling you, it's very few people who I really regard as a friend or as a family to me in business. Beyond is definitely someone who I regard as both. I'm able to go to him, not even just on business, but he has so much insight and wisdom just in life, period. And it's really, impactful to have individuals like that around you. And one of the things I also appreciate about him is that he's extremely coachable, even off something he may not know. And he's humble enough to say, well, I don't know that, or I'm coming to you to learn this. And so I think, you definitely show those qualities of a leader, someone who's confident, but that still, displays, humility. And so, for those who want and serious about changing a entire financial situation, make sure you reach out to Beyond. I'm telling you, he's done so much for not only for myself, but for those around me. And a lot of my coaching clients, the deals we're getting come directly from King Beyond, because he's in one of the hottest markets in the United States, if not the hottest market. And to be able to purchase a property where you literally just pick up keys and start collecting rent that month, you don't find that in a lot of markets. So definitely don't take what we have here right now for granted, and being able to reach out to him directly. Family, I appreciate everybody hopping on this live. We are going to continue to have some dope guests on here. I'm going to have another guest next week. Definitely make sure that you're here, and just talking and just showing and bringing more value. I wanted this FICO Friday to be more than just about real estate and credit, but even just giving y'all some life experience and game, because like I always share that 90% of what we do, anything in life, is going to be based upon our mindset. And that's one of the things that King Beyond is a master at, is helping people, see the value in displaying their genius. So we have probably about 1 or 2 minutes left. Any last words, King, before we sign off in the next 45 seconds?
I'm going to say this. Here's another thing. Start to use your own brain. Start to use the infinite intelligence that God created you with. Start to listen to that. When it comes to credit, a lot of people make money off of making you scared and fear. Like I said, fear is a negative emotion. So people say, stay away from credit. But when you look at most of the wealthy people in this country, they utilize other people's money to build wealth. They utilize other people's money to build wealth. That's the best leverage on this planet. We've been looking at it from the other end, because people use their credit and they get in debt. They go buy liabilities. And then next thing you know, they file in bankruptcy. Then they got bad credit. Don't listen to those people. Listen to the people that's taking their credit and building wealth. It's just like your life. So you have to be able to use your own brain. Not Dr. Ramsey or none of those people. Like, all those people are great people, but use your brain. Fire can kill you, and fire can save your life. Credit could put you in a bad situation, or credit can make you wealthy, depending on how you use it.
Absolutely.
Why wouldn't I use somebody's money that I can get an 8%, and I can take the 8% and make 20%? What happens when you compound that over a period of time and you recycle it and repeat that?
Absolutely. So you hit the nail on the head, King, and I'm going to leave everybody with this. If you don't understand leverage, you're working too hard. So I'll see you, family, next week. King, we'll be talking soon. And, man, I love y'all. Make sure y'all go support my brother, and I'll talk to y'all next week. FICO Friday, every single Friday. Peace.